Hello, I am Scott Siegfried, the proud superintendent of the Cherry Creek Schools. As the school year ends, I want to express my heartfelt appreciation to our teachers, staff, students, and families for persevering in the face of adversity. This has been an extraordinary spring. In March, we stood up a remote learning system in just 5 days that has engaged students for the past 2 months, changing the very nature of the entire educational system. We provided over 6,500 computers to students who did not have devices in their home. We have handed out nearly 4,000 meals a day to students, well over 130,000 to date. School nurses and mental health workers are available to students through our Healthline. Our Cherry Creek Schools Foundation has worked with community partners to provide books, school supplies, and more to families in need. This is truly a community that rises to meet the moment. Even as we celebrate the resiliency and the hard work that got us to the end of the school year, we know that our greatest challenges lie ahead. Today, I want to talk to you about how we as a district are planning for next school year. First, however, I want to let you know that we continue to develop plans for in-person, live stream graduation ceremonies for students later this summer. We are waiting for final guidance from health officials prior to finalizing and communicating our plans. We will share this information soon. I would also like to ask our community to join us in taking special effort to celebrate seniors across the district on the day of their originally planned ceremony, May 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So in preparation for next year, my greatest hope would be to have school as normal, but hope is not a strategy, and I don't believe that is reality. The truth is, we don't know exactly what the future holds. My job is to lead the district in planning for multiple scenarios in preparation for whatever decision is made. As I contemplate different approaches, I think first about the health and safety of our 55,000 kids, our 9,000 employees, and ultimately the homes they return to every day. The fact is, when 65,000 people come together in close proximity for up to 8 hours a day, they share germs, and then they come home to you. So given the critical nature of education and the context in which we function, I will take guidance from the governor, the Colorado Department of Education, and the Tri-County Health Department in our planning. Finally, regardless of the approach, we must be prepared to provide a robust, meaningful education where students are accountable for new learning. As I'm sure is the case for you, I cannot watch TV or read a report where social or physical distancing isn't discussed as a primary approach of limiting infections. If such orders remain in place, we will develop a plan to maintain physical distancing in schools. Since schools are built and funded to bring students and adults into smaller spaces and have them work in groups, the only way to provide physical distancing is to develop a schedule where not all students attend school each day. If this is the case, things will look dramatically different next year as students rotate through days at home and days at school. I believe we must also be prepared to switch to remote learning at any time during the school year. While I believe we did an exceptional job with an extremely short amount of time setting up remote learning this spring, we have to be prepared to do even better next year. A significant part of our work is learning from the last 2 months. In our planning, we are already making changes, such as limiting the number of platforms that students will utilize for learning, preparing for more synchronous learning, meaning teachers leading lessons online that engage the whole class at the same time, and holding students accountable for attending and for their work. That also means giving teachers, parents, and students all of the tools and support necessary to master online learning platforms prior to the start of the school year. In addition, we will also expand Cherry Creek Elevation Online High School and open Elevation Online Middle School for families that want a different school as we enter next year. We are working on these plans and will communicate details as soon as we can. However, so much depends on the progression of this pandemic over the summer. Again, my greatest hope is that we are all back to school, and we already have that plan in place. We have for over 70 years. However, I believe it is my responsibility, and I also believe that you, our community, expects us to take the next 3 months to plan for the uncertain future, to plan so that whatever decision is made regarding the status of school, we are prepared to implement a meaningful approach. I must also share with you my concern regarding our budget for the next few years. Yesterday, we learned that the state is planning for a deficit of over $3 billion. For the Cherry Creek schools, that could result in an excess of $30 million in cuts. This means that in the most difficult time in the 70-year history of the district, we will be required to implement unprecedented plans with millions less in funding. This will have a direct impact on our ability to keep all staff employed, to pay them a meaningful wage, and our ability to deliver the same high-quality programs you expect. And more than likely, this will become a multi-year impact. I will keep you informed of changes necessary due to cuts in our budget from the state. In the meantime, we are continuing to support our community in any way we can. Cherry Creek Schools is partnering with Stride Community Health to offer coronavirus swab testing and pop-up clinics at several of our high schools over the next 2 months. Check our website for upcoming dates and location of when those clinics will be available, and testing is available to any community member. I want to end by saying thank you to this community for coming together and helping one another during this crisis. The acts of compassion, selflessness, and fortitude I have witnessed are inspiring. Thank you, and as always, stay safe, stay healthy.